Never pass me the ball unless I really force him on the field when we play. He rarely pass me the ball. I'm open, Pete.
Where do you play?
I mean, I can't blame you.
Where do you play?
I can't blame you.
You have to pass the ball back once in a while because I can
The center back. You're 20 meters
give me
down.
a break. From now on, I'm not going to give you the ball. If you're on my team,
go forward with the ball.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah. Okay.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Serie A audio experience with IFTV.
Oh, boy.
We are beginning early. My dad will be arriving shortly, and then he'll sit in this seat, and I'll move to the middle. But I'm really impressed right now. The first one at the studio, I didn't think he was even going to arrive anymore. TV superstar debuted, Antonio Cinque Palmi Cassano. Antonio, I thought we were never going to see you again after this weekend. Yesterday, 24 hours ago, you were about to make your TV debut on CBS Sports Network Paramount Plus. I didn't think you were going to show up anymore.
Well, listen, I got this close and not showing up. And then I had to watch the Napoli game and I begged Mike to let me in the basement. That's why you find me before over here. But
Anto came in here, was like, I know I'm above all you guys now, but do you mind if I watch a game with you? And I was like, wow, Anto. I was like, you're new Hollywood now.
And Mike, he ran to the door to open, which he never did it before.
Usually he lets you wait
he
there.
lets me wait under the rain for hours.
I was cleaning your shoes, Anto. Now you're our star.
Yeah. By the way, you didn't do
our
a good job with this one here.
All I know, I walked in, no hi, nothing. The guy's writing notes.
Yeah, I'm
For the
busy.
first time ever.
I'm busy.
He's changed.
He's getting a lot of offers from other networks over here. We better be careful. We might lose this fella.
Do we have to up the price over here?
I can't say anything.
You can't say.
Marco, don't give any hints or any
undisclosed fee over here. But for real, if anyone did not see it, I guess we could probably pop it in too. We'll put a link to it or pop it in. We'll see what we do. Antonio, you were on CBS Sports, the official network of Serie A broadcaster in this country. Number one, I don't know if you ever thought that was going to happen. And number two, you were hilarious. You tried stealing the show. You never wanted to stop talking. It was unbelievable. You even asked for Giuseppe Rossi's autograph mid-show.
I wonder if I ever rely on you or this guy here to make Giuseppe sign a picture that I took with him. So
how'd you feel?
I had to put it on the spot.
How did you feel?
For me, I had a lot of fun because I don't feel any pressure. To me, you're talking about soccer. This is my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I love that stuff. So there's no pressure. Nobody's going to tell me what to say, what not to say. Then I get the freedom to do whatever I want. So how can you go wrong with that?
Did you have fun with Aaron and Christine over there?
Oh, my God. It's a lot of fun. The only problem, I felt bad for them. As soon as I see Milan tie the game, and their face went a little bit low. And I said, hey, you surrounded me with all of Juventus fans around over there, so it was not easy.
You were a good balance. Yeah. They loved your Vespa.
Christine is fun. Christine is a lot of fun. Aaron is a lot of fun. And Ellis, this guy that was setting up all the group, excellent guy. Yeah. He shared with the what do you call it, the hair pod over there?
It was upside down your AirPod.
It was upside down, but I heard everything. Hilarious. I heard everything.
I heard you were feeding them octopus. Good. I heard there was a lot going on.
I tried my best. Look,
you did good. And your chant. So you came up with this chant on the spot, and they saw it, and they messaged me, and they said, "Listen, can we get this guy who is my uncle? You're like my uncle, just not related.
That's
uncle.
Not good. For a 45, I'm not your uncle. Yeah.
At 45, they said they loved it so much that they wanted you to do it live over here. So your jingle is global.
It's international now, right?
Plus,
like
Anto Internazionale.
Antonio.
Let's not go too far with Inter, please,
guys. Anyway, we had.
What are we talking about the game? That's
Let's go into the matches. We had a wild week of Serie A, some big upsets and some big matches. Where would you guys like to start off first? You want to start with the big game? You want to do Juventus Milan?
Yeah, why not?
Since that's what we're talking about. It was a 2:45 match on Sunday. Tale of two halves is kind of how we were describing it, where Juventus played fantastic in the first 45 minutes. They really shut Milan down. They had all the opportunities. They were up 1-0. And then in the second half, it was the complete opposite. And it was a Milan that was depleted. There was no Calabria. There was no Zlatan. There was no Ibrahimovic. Kier got hurt early on. And you would think, I was expecting, I said, okay, Juventus, they're going to have to go out there. Allegri's going to have to put another attacker, score 2-0, and then you could sit back a little bit. They kind of did what they did against Napoli a little bit, where it seemed like they were content with the 1-0, and Milan turned it on. Milan, I will tell you right now, Antonio, you guys really impressed me this week. With the game against Liverpool, and now your game against Juventus, you showed true character and true heart. And I really think, I did not have this before, and we're all going to give our new updated Serie A predictions. I did not think Milan was going to have the team to fight for the league this season. And you guys showed me that even without your best players, you can compete against the top teams.
You know why? because we're not depending on Cristiano Ronaldo. We're not depending on some big superstars. Look, you just said it. No Giroud, no Ibrahimovic, no Calabria. We had basically 6 or 7 stars. Cager got injured first half an hour.
I mentioned this.
So we're not depending on the player. We have a system. AC Milan has got a system. The game and the way that the structure of the game and the squad is being put on the field, that makes a huge difference. So and we discover every time we put the new kids inside, we discover that those kids, they build up character and confidence. And like for example, this Kalulu was all over the place yesterday.
He should have started.
He was a miracle.
He would have scored the winner. Chesney did not put
that
all the
was
miracle.
the only thing that I question about Pioli when he put the formation of the team. Why did you put Tomori playing right side on the Calabria position when you can leave Tomori in the middle and you could have just used Kalulu?
Kalulu never had any minutes this season. That's why. Maybe he was scared in terms of fitness wise.
I don't think so. He played last year, Mike. So
I know, but this season he didn't have any minutes.
Sure enough, now Kalulu is building confidence too.
Oh yeah.
So we have an extra options over there. I'm not big on Florenzi. I always said it before. I never liked him when he was in Roma, but nevertheless, he's an AC Milan player. Right now, I have to start to embrace him, and I hope that if he's listening to me. Florenzi, please step up your game and do well. So
I want to know what Peter was thinking.
Yeah.
Just the other 2 guys that I was going to say, just to give you a lot of credit. Rebic,
big time.
Tonali, and Brahim Diaz. Those 3 guys for you
well, that's
are
why I didn't
phenoms.
finish. So let me just say it. Okay, since you brought it up, this is my team. So let me just spill it out. So this guy, all he does, he rubs all of his stuff on us. So again, let me tell you something. This Brahim Diaz, I'm telling you, is for real. Okay, first of all, he's a
How
little
for
guy.
real?
Is for real. He's one of the top midfielder in all Europe right now. You might
think he's going to become good?
He is good already.
You think he's going to turn
First
into
of all,
something?
he's a little guy. He's a little guy, low center
Like
of
Mike.
gravity. Low center of gravity. In Italy, we call it baricentro. Baricentro even means body in the center of the city. So baricentro. But center of gravity is very low. On the short space, this guy here, he knows how to maneuver. He was spinning somebody around. I don't know if it was Rabiot or somebody else that they were very close on him. He spun him around. Locatelli. So, he's for real, this kid here. And I think he's going to produce a lot of good stuff.
Anyone here reminds you of?
You know what? The guy is, I think, un ibrido between Kaká and Cassano. Cassano, because Cassano, he sees the game at a different speed. And Kaká is very deadly. Once the guy can see the net, le punta la porta, we say in Italian. When the guy sees the net, he's going to take a shot. He's not afraid to shoot the ball on the small spaces. Excellent. It's excellent, not just dribbling 1, 2, 3. At any time you think this guy's going to pass the ball, it's always dribbling another guy.
Can he get to that level? Can he get to the Kaká level, you
think?
He
is. I think, he's getting very close over there.
Wow.
He's getting, and Tonali is going to be the next Pirlo / Cassano.
Wow.
Again, this
There's
guy, you
completely
made a
different
big
positions.
mistake. You made a big mistake. You gave up on Tonali. You were laughing at me last year. I said, take it easy. Watch out. You know, the things, they have the ripe on the tree before you actually can pull them and you can eat it. So let it go, because it's going to happen. Good. Listen, we gave up on Cristante. No, Cristante is playing in Roma international team. We gave up in so many other players. Locatelli now is playing for Juventus, unfortunately. But we're not going to make that mistake. And I was watching even Paquetá yesterday. Paquetá almost put PSG in a very bad spot, because he scored and then, PSG, they went up tying and winning the game at the last on overtime. So AC Milan is learning the lesson that you have to be patient with these young guys that you have on board, and I think the patience with Kalulu is going to pay. And even watch Maldini's son. By the end of the year, this guy here is going to log maybe some important minutes, and he's going to be an addition for the midfielder for AC Milan.
So,
are you scared?
I'm not scared.
Are you trembling?
Never.
Are you sure?
Shaking on your boots?
Because you guys look pretty good, but then there's Milan that's coming down your back. Are you scared that they could steal the Scudetto from you?
4 games into Serie A. There's a lot of games to be played. And even though you said that, and I agree, I think Milan played a good game. So just to kind of jump on what you said first, that you guys don't need the star players. Unfortunately, to win matches, you guys tied the game. To win matches, you need somebody up top that can score the goals and take off all the pressure from the team. But before I get to that, you mentioned that it was impressive. This Milan team has been impressive versus Liverpool, versus Juventus. I say halfway. Versus Liverpool, it was good that they were able to fight back and get that 2-1 lead, but Liverpool was the better team, and they should have been the better team. So that's fine. So versus Juventus, it was a tale of 2 halves. we saw a Juventus team that played an outstanding game. For the first time in this season, and maybe in the past 2-3 seasons, we saw this Juventus team score, press, have more chances. They looked free-flowing. They didn't look the team that was afraid or a shadow of themselves in these past 3 games. Milan, I think, were able to match, funny enough, the intensity, I guess, to the Juventus, where little by little, they were getting into the game. And all that they needed was that chance to get into the game. Going to the score, right? 1-1, we talk about a whole different game, and a result of the game changes. If Juventus would have won 1-0, we would have been talking about a different situation right now.
But if AC Milan would have won 2-1.
If Milan would have won, it would have been complete turmoil for Juventus. I want to go to substitutions, right? I think I agree with you that Kalulu should have started. I think it was a better Milan team when Tomori was playing as a center back. He was able to neutralize Morata's speed. The first half, they gave a little difficulty to both Romagnoli and Kjaer. Kalulu had more experience going up and down the flank as a true right back, and Tomori didn't really get up. To be fair, he only had a limited amount of minutes to do that. So I think Pioli was thinking, okay, we have Theo Hernandez is always going to go up. We can always settle with that Tomori as a more defensive right back because he has the speed, he has the pace. I think Tonali showed a lot of character, and I think he was one of the better midfielders. Kessie, on the other hand, played poorly. And going back to that substitution, when Kessie went out, Bennacer came in, the ball started moving a lot better for Milan, and that's when they started having more chances. Because up until that point, Milan didn't have any concrete chances that I could say that forced Szczesny to make a save. And then as the game got on, they did. And they had the chances to win the game and could have easily won the game, and deservedly so. Whereas Juventus in the first half, whether it be the Dybala, Shah, Morata, like they had a lot of chances, and then little by little as the half gone,
it dwindled.
Dwindled down.
Yeah.
He just mentioned Dybala, and Dybala getting subbed off was probably a big controversy. What did you make? What did you make of his substitution in Dybala's game?
I mean, first of all, Dybala, I think he was doing great. He gave the assist to a beautiful ball to Morata, scoring that great goal. But I feel like Allegri too much. Instead of he gets the goal and he wants to defend it rather than attack for that second goal to put the nail on the coffin. Juve were so lucky. If there were 10 minutes more in this game, Milan really could have won this game. Because Juve, the first hour, they were incredible. Didn't let Milan have any chances. Didn't let them breathe. Then once Rebic got that goal, and by the way, if they got to start implementing a defender on each post, because if they had that over there, it would still be 1-0 Juve.
Locatelli also just completely lost his man.
That's also.
They're marking man. They weren't doing zone.
100%. But if you have someone there,
Locatelli lost his
I know.
Man.
But if you have someone there, you wouldn't even be talking about it. It's cleared
but you can
out.
also say if he just marked his man.
That's true too. But regardless,
No,
I'm saying yes.
Let me just say.
Yeah, but I just want to say, for mentality wise, I was really questioning Allegri's choice on that, because this isn't the first time he subbed someone out to kind of conserve the lead. He also said post-match, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. He said post-match that good thing the ref blew the whistle because we could have risked losing that game.
He's right.
And by him saying that, though, that makes me think, I was like, wow, Allegri 4 years ago with that Juve, he would never have said that. Definitely different teams. But I'm saying, what's the mentality? What has Juve come to that even their mentality by saying something like that? That gave me so much like question marks towards Allegri, the mentality of this Juventus team, and just the situation that they're in right now. I think it's even worse than we think.
And even furthermore,
to be honest,
the substitutions that he made, even Chiesa, Chiesa as a right back, or as a left back.
What are you doing?
That's Italy. One of Italy's best players that won single-handedly put us through.
He should be starting. That's first.
And he was even afraid, saying, "I should have taken a more defensive approach."
I'm going to throw a couple things.
He said
on
that
the
Chiesa needs to grow. He said a lot of them need to grow, but Chiesa too.
So going back just to the substitution before you jump on, you have to show your team that you mean business, that you're going to win.
Yeah.
By taking out Dybala, who's the best player, is the player that can make something out of nothing happen. You already lose there. Then you put on Keane. You take out Morata. You take out a straight switch. You have to go.
Morata's hurt. He's probably not playing in the midweek.
Okay, but
let me tell you something.
You have to show that you want to go for the win, and you change your mentality. You had Rabiot, Bentancur, and Locatelli for the whole game Those three guys, you could have took out one of them and put a more attacking option
It's
that
not like they
doesn't
were
change
doing
the
well
balance.
either.
Yeah.
I know.
And I think Locatelli in the first half he did well because he was putting the ball first time.
But nothing
and
that
then
you
he just
can't sub
yeah,
them out.
you could have
It's
subbed them
not
out.
one
gonna
of those
throw-
three easily could have been subbed
Easy.
So
out.
I'm going to throw a couple things on the table. First of all, I want your take about how the hell. At the same time, I liked the Theo Hernandez and I didn't like it before because I'll
He
tell
was
you the reasons
invisible.
why.
He didn't have
The
the
reasons
match.
why.
Yeah.
How can you be the fastest player on AC Milan and not be able to catch up to Morata? But at the same time, he didn't foul him and didn't risk the red card
That's true.
and put the game
I
up.
didn't think he
I
was
mean,
going
it was
to be able
4
to outrun
minutes.
Morata.
Are you kidding
I mean-
me? That guy,
that's right. I'm
that
agreeing
guy,
with
he
you.
got caught. He got caught in a position.
No, I'm agreeing
No,
with you.
he's
Oh,
saying.
you agree?
He's
I'm agreeing
saying, he's
with
saying
you.
that.
Number one. Number two.
Morata had a
Allegri-
head start though.
Let
but
me
still,
tell you something
regardless.
about Allegri. You guys, I think, are a little
But
wrong
running
about
with
it.
the ball is you usually
That's
run
true.
much
It's
slower.
slower
Yeah.
than usual.
That's
So-
why.
Yeah.
So about Allegri, I'll tell you what I think about Allegri.
Tell us.
Allegri, in the beginning, he, right off the gate, Juventus was playing boom, 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 one touch. I said, is this the Juventus that I saw the first 3 or 4 games? I couldn't recognize. I said, my God, this is like one of the best teams so far. And I started to get a little scared. I said, oh my God, Caloni, if something happened like that, everybody's gonna make fun of me. I said, oh, and Christine was looking at me too, and Aaron was looking at me. I said, okay. I said, hey, we have another half. But then about Allegri, I gotta tell you something about Allegri. Allegri is not scared. It's not scared to play the game. He
don't
became
know
a
about that.
catenacciaro in the second half because
Catenacciaro.
he wanted to bring the game home. Because Allegri, from what we have seen before, he has not really changed. He wins the game. He wants to win the dirty way, not necessarily play spectacular soccer, but he wants to, like
gritty
Marco said
win.
all the time,
That gritty
he
win.
wants a dirty win and he wants to
Yeah.
bring the game home, like Conte sometime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, he was scared that if AC Milan will be scoring,
Oh, yeah.
he will be in top
Problems.
So I would say actually look for Agnelli, look Nedved. Nedved doesn't sit down anymore. The guy's always standing. Listen, the body language is very conducive. The player, they see you like that, you transmit that kind of a nervous
energy.
the nervous energy
To the rest
to
of
the
the team,
players. So
yeah.
that means that Allegri hasn't changed. It's the fact that Juventus is very, very below where they're supposed to be. That for them the tie was like a win because hey, let's bring it home. Even though we are in Torino, let's bring the tie home.
But taking that approach also leaves to, like you said, the players feel that nervousness and say, we have to win this game by all means, 1-0. And as the time went on, and once Milan scored, that's it. You saw like
They were
not a
scared.
blackout, but
No.
they weren't able
But-
to do anything. They weren't able
Marco-
to respond.
Yeah, we're going to move on after.
Listen, Marco, this is something
moving on
very
after
important. Listen to me. First of all, Dybala is waiting for his contract to be signed. This is to tell you about the body language. All of a sudden, he's starting to push Tonali around and all the stuff. And he wants to
I
show
bet that was because
listen
of
to
the
me.
foul.
He wants to show the leadership. Hey, here I am. I belong over here, and I want to be signed. At the same time, look what AC Milan is doing to Kessie. Listen, they're doing the right thing. They're sending a message to Kessie. I said, you are one of our top players, but don't get too ahead of yourself that you want maybe 8 million or 9 million, whatever. So we have so many other options that Kessie thinks about it. Kessie was the man for us last year, but this year we have a lot of options. We got Tonali, we still have Benacer, we got a lot of
We know
people.
the
So,
players. Let's go on to Inter because this Inter might be even better than the one last year. I mean, they are so strong, and I feel like they're even more dynamic
against
than they
who?
were
Come
last
on,
year.
who could they play?
No, but even against, and we'll talk about the Champions League game against Real Madrid, but I am really loving the way that Inter play. It's really beautiful to see. Dumfries came in, who there was a lot of expectations. There was a lot of negativity as well coming in. He did a great job. He's obviously the Hakimi replacement. And while he's not the same technically going forward, I think you could even say on defense, he brings a lot to the table that maybe Hakimi did not. The first ball to Lautaro Martinez was fantastic. And this kid, Lautaro, I mean, we've been critical of Lautaro on here last year. Lukaku left, and he has stepped in fantastic to be the center of Inter, and it's beautiful to see. I'm telling you right now, if this kid keeps it up, he is going to be the MVP of Serie A this year. He looks so hungry to score goals that it is amazing to see. And all of Inter, 6-1 against Bologna. By the way, Mihailovic was saying before the game, oh yeah, I know how to defend Dzeko. Man, it did not look like it. They even told Mihailovic before. They said, you haven't conceded in 2 games, what are you going to do? And he said, listen, if I concede against Inter, I'm going to be pissed off of you. I don't know if he expected 6 goals.
Yeah.
But good job by Inter. Pete, how are you feeling?
I feel good. Obviously, like you said.
Wow.
Feel good.
That's good to know that. After 6-1, you better feel good. Otherwise,
But Real Madrid, you have to score 2 goals in the first half.
Yeah.
And now, you could score even 1 goal versus Bologna. And I'm happy. I'm even more happy. But the game showed that this Inter team, when they're on, they are forced to be reckoned with. I mean, set pieces were dangerous. De Vrij, Skriniar scoring a 2nd goal already.
Di Marco straight from it.
Yeah, and even Dzeko wasn't it. He can score in the corner. So, like, set pieces were dangerous. Di Marco, like you said, with a free kick. So, Çalhanoğlu, let's not forget Çalhanoğlu. He'll probably be starting. Dumfries has been able to replace...
Çalhanoğlu?
Who's
this guy here?
Yeah, you know who he is.
How about Diaz? You know who's Diaz?
You better be careful. You might go there next year. Don't.
Yeah, so Dumfries, although, obviously the Hakimi was a proven, top player, and he's a fantastic player, but Dumfries can match his athleticism, can match his speed. I mean, I think they showed a top speed. It was only off by 1.5 kilometer per hour, which is a lot on the long distance, but in the short distance, he's still
fast.
Yeah, he's still a fast player. And I think he adds a physicality level and a defensive level that Hakimi maybe lacked a bit. And he put in some dangerous balls besides the assists they scored. He put him in. So in the end, that's what you need from your right wing back, especially in this 3-5-2
Dumfries
formation.
is much better than Hakimi by far.
Well,
not a little, by far.
I don't know about that.
By far.
We'll
Technically,
see.
it's much better than Hakimi. And besides
I don't know about
Hakimi, he comes from the bench. He doesn't even start from PSG.
Oh, but it's because
That's
PSG is still
early, it's
developing.
early.
Donnarumma that sits on the bench for PSG as well.
Well, no, he played last week.
He came
played
in and
Sunday.
he conceded.
Did you see they sold down Messi too?
Yeah.
Man, this guy Pochettino is gone already. Watch.
Forget it.
One more week.
Yeah, I was enjoying watching the game. And Paquetá, boom, he put it up there. He put a danger over there. It's just...
Pete, you mentioned a couple different things. And obviously the Champions League game was because I don't know how much we could talk about beating Bologna 6-1.
Yeah.
I
Champions
talk
League
about it, because Bologna was they
He's
had
excited.
7 points in 3
Yeah, no,
games.
they've been playing good. They had a good
they're
start.
not a walkover team, so
Yeah.
it was an impressive result. Obviously, it's not versus the top team within the league in the long run, but it was an impressive result, I think.
I agreed. I gave you how much credit.
Wow.
And you didn't even talk about two of the guys I was going to say too. Barella, who played as a CDM at one point, did an unbelievable job, which just proves that this guy is all around an unbelievable midfielder. And Brozovic, who's a workhorse that doesn't always get his credit. But on the game against Real Madrid, because I think that's a bigger talking point, they lost 1-0 in a game that they played better. They played better than Real Madrid. It's not the first time that they play better and come away with nothing. I was extremely disappointed with them not being able to score, which causes my concerns on what they can do in the European stage, Mike.
Now, Marco, I wanted to bring up that point 100%.
What do you think?
Now, do you think... Because there's a question for everyone.
No, you need to answer that.
No, the thing is...
We're passing it to you.
The thing is, I don't really know the answer, so that's why I want to lay it all for the table. I want to say, if Inter played, instead of a Real Madrid from the big name, if they played... Sassuolo or like a Bologna, do you think those goals would have came? Do we think this was a mentality problem? Because they played amazing
against Shakhtar and Shetty. There's zero excuse for those. By the way, this
but
year,
I'm saying,
you got to beat them
Marco.
both.
They played.
Have to.
They played amazing against Madrid, but they couldn't get the ball across the line. So was it a mentality thing, or
is
was
it a one-game thing?
It could be that. That's what I'm trying to
ask.
ask.
One-game thing. You also had a Courtois who's not a walkover.
Yeah, very good.
Top goalkeeper, and he made some impressive saves that we weren't able to get lucky to score. These are the games where you need a star player. Champions League is all about the stars.
Are you saying Lautaro's not a star?
No, I'm saying that Lautaro needs to step up.
Oh,
because he had some opportunities where he should be putting it in the back of the net, and unfortunately hit it towards Courtois or missed wide.
Yeah.
So these are games that, in the past, Lukaku would take a stronghold and win a game. Dzeko, unfortunately, is too old. He'll be an important part of this team, but he's not. You can't use him as that star player. Lautaro needs to step up. You're wearing the number 10, and you need to finish those goals in the big games. Those are the games that count.
You know what kind of bothered me too?
Marco, listen, one thing.
Anto.
The thing that really, Lautaro lacked last year at Inter, it was consistency, right? That's, I guess, is the word. So you have the now, without Lukaku, you better be consistent, because you have to bring the same game at the same high intensity week after week after week. You cannot just say, okay, I'll play 3 weeks in top shape, and then I'm gonna slack off a couple of weeks here and there. If you don't bring it in, it's a very high risk that you guys can get out from the high competition.
Yes, consistency is key.
Consistency.
He's getting,
Sorry, words are hard.
Go ahead. So consistency is the key. So
Consistency is key.
So
no, I got it. But
having said that,
I was gonna say Lautaro last
due
year, it
respect.
wasn't like he didn't score any goals. I don't know what the exact number were, but
I can find them.
he put up a good total of goals. So, is he like the top players that we see, where Messi, Ronaldo, where every single game they turn it on? Not yet, and he has to step up if he wants to be considered one of the top players in the league or a top player within the Champions League. He needs to do it every single game.
We one thing that you just brought up, you brought up Lukaku, and I've been seeing what he's doing in Premier
15
League,
goals.
which is unbelievable. I mean, Lukaku, he's doing great for it. Chelsea look really dangerous on all fronts in Premier League and in Champions League. Obviously, they're the reigning champions in Europe, but they got better with Lukaku. And it's one thing that's been on my mind, because obviously we got into a debate on this on CBS, and I wanted to pass it off to here to see what you guys thought. Because they showed a clip of some of the guys saying that in Italy there's lack of intensity, and they're not going to be able to compete in Champions League, blah, 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 whatever you want to say. And while I agree that there is a level below, I don't know. I feel like the way sometimes things are said, it bothers me. And it reminds me of what happened in the Euros, where they said Italy lacked intensity, and Giuseppe Rossi made a great point where he's saying intensity is not everything that matters in football. Just basing it off that is kind of wrong. But then when I see that a guy like Lukaku, who when he was doing good at Inter, a lot of Premier League fans, not everyone, said, but it's Serie A. Yeah, of course he's going to do good in Serie A. But look what he's doing. Anto, your phone.
Put it away further.
You hear it? But when he did it when he did it in when he now he's doing it in Premier League, it's like look how they transferred over. Even I spoke to some Arsenal fans who are so happy with Tomiyasu. The guy was playing at Bologna. Yeah. Like, let's be real. I don't know how much of a difference. Well, I think, unbiased, if I say Premier League is probably the best league in the world, Serie A is my favorite. But there just feels like there's something. I don't know. You guys take it. What
I'll tell you what the difference is. That you can spend $10 million on a player and give $8 million, $10 million with your eyes closed, because you're making a lot of money with TV rights. You're making a lot of money as a league. So that's the difference. It's not so much the intensity, because the intensity, to a certain extent, all the teams are intense. If you're telling me that Inter are less intense than a Premier League team, that's all BS.
Yeah.
The quality is a difference maker. When you have the best stars, those are the guys that are going to turn up on 100%. The big stages. And I'm not just talking about on the feet, but also.
I rarely agree with him, Marco. But this time it's the quality. I agree. This time,
shift it. Forget about intensity. Shift it to. Can Italian teams? Can we see an Italian team compete in Europe this
year? Absolutely.
We can,
and who?
What do you mean?
And who? Which team?
Which team?
Yeah.
AC Milan is one of them. Maybe Inter.
Milan have a tough group.
Roma.
But listen, at the end of the day, obviously they're gonna have the advantage if a mid-table Premier League team has the same budget as a top Serie A team.
But let's not get into. But that's not a smart way to tackle this problem, because the more so the thing is, can an Italian team go on to compete and win in Champions League?
I will tell you the reasons why.
I would think so. Yes, 100%. Not as much as the Premier League teams, but there's still quality Serie A teams that can compete at the top.
Let me ask you something, the three of you. Was the European Championship a lucky shot for us, or we actually went in to win? So what does that say? That we're not playing intensive soccer? Intelligent soccer and quality, it's all over here. Just the ball, rotate the ball, you have to know your movement. Doesn't matter if your speed is a little higher. It doesn't mean anything whether you have 70% ball possession. If you have quality on your feet and you know how the ball is going to rotate, there is nothing that can match that. So there is
that's a smarter argument.
Right. It is, because you have to play smart, because at some point you ran out of gas. Look what Juventus yesterday, they played a spectacular game for 60 minutes, 65 minutes. All of a sudden that gas ran out And then if you are on a close game situation over there, then it's when you go for the killing. So that's what you do. You let them just get stressed out, and then you just go and you go for the killing. So what I'm trying to say, it's many times speed. It's on the road, yes. If you are in the Formula One, speed counts. But in the field, up to a point.
And also to carry off of that, I think Champions League, the most important thing is getting out of the group stage. Once you're out of the group stage, it's it's a new competition, and so it's how you can play within those two games. I mean, Juventus arguably these last 3 years, they didn't lose versus any powerhouses in Champions League.
Yeah,
they lost to a lesser team.
Well, you guys do. You lost with Shakhtar.
We never lost with Shakhtar. We never lost with Shakhtar. We never lost with Shakhtar.
It's a loss, right?
We didn't lose with Shakhtar.
And watch out, because De Zerbi's over there. He knows the way you guys play. So De Zerbi's been punishing you for the last few years. So.
That's actually a very good point. Anyway, just wanted to bring it up. Let's run through some of the other games that were important. I was very impressed. Hellas Verona, who sacked Di Francesco, a move that I think all of us, right when the start of Serie A season, none of us believed in Di Francesco. We all knew that this was not going to end well. They lost Judic, and we knew that they were going to go downhill. They sacked him after 3 games, which in and of itself is just
they lost Di Francesco.
What did I say?
You said Judic.
I said, oh, sorry. They lost Judic the year before, and they got Di Francesco. And now after 3 games, they brought in Tudor, who is from Juventus.
He left the
and
staff, yeah.
One of those immediate impacts, we've seen it here, Pete. We grew up with the Serie A for so long. We've seen it how many times that they sack their coach the next game. The players are running 100 miles an hour, and they're able to beat a Roma who was unbeaten, right?
Yep.
I mean, does this look like more? Not every time Di Francesco gets. I think it's been 3 jobs right now that Roma UCL Champions League semifinal feels more of a fluke every year, and it sucks so much because I felt like I fell in love with Di Francesco. It was incredible. Then just the jobs after, he did horrendously bad, lasting only 3 games. Coaching Cagliari. I mean,
I don't blame him for this one as much though, because I mean, listen, the owners are just ridiculous to sack him.
That's true. But now my question is, who's gonna hire Di Francesco? How long is he gonna be unemployed for till a team actually
coming
goes
up
for
from
him?
Serie B.
Listen, I gotta tell you something. This is a lot of stuff is being blamed on the coach, but let me tell you something. Watch what AC Milan did when they brought Ibrahimovic. Pioli was the coach still, so as soon as Ibrahimovic comes on board, it's you need a motivator in the team. So it's either psychological. AC Milan went from a speed of 25 miles an hour to a 90 miles an hour. And everybody that is looking at Ibrahimovic, even when it's not on the field, they said, oh God, God only knows what he's going to think if I screw up this time, if I don't play the right way. Same thing, Giroud demands a lot of respect. Yeah. When they're sitting on the bench, those guys, and they're coming into the spogliatoi, those guys that demand that you do way over what's expected from you. So you have to give everything you have and do not disrespect the game, because the fact that you've been brought in and a squad like Inter Milan or AC Milan or Juventus, that's what, I will say something to you. If Del Piero was still right now part of the Juventus squad at 39 or 40 years old, I know it's not, but Del Piero will demand when he goes back into the locker room and somebody doesn't do the job, Del Piero will just looking at those guys and say, without saying a word, okay?
Yeah, it's a mentality thing. But going back to Di Francesco, unfortunately, first off, his stock has gone way down since Roma. His stock has gone way down because every coaching job that he's had after has been a disgrace. Okay, and I agree with Marco. 3 games. Verona, to be quite honest, weren't playing so bad. Like they versed Inter and they gave a lot of trouble to this Inter
Bologna
team.
and Sassuolo
they lost Sackings too.
Sassuolo also I like. So
they sold their best player.
They don't have any real strikers. So there's a lot of things. Simeone just got, so what I was gonna get at is, he should wait for the right job. A lot of times this guy is rushing in to get back because he doesn't want to leave a sour thought, I guess, to the soccer fans or soccer community, whatever the case might be, for him to get a job again. But look at Spalletti. Spalletti took 2 years off, and he's got a perfect job with Napoli, where it's a job that he feels that he can compete for Champions League and possibly compete for a Scudetto.
But Spalletti has that benefit. Di Francesco now, okay, give me the scenario for Di Francesco. What's a good... Oh, you're saying prior. So now, what does he do now?
You have to choose the right job, because you go to Hellas Verona after what Juric has done.
It's hard to replicate.
Juric
very
brought this team should be relegation zone for the past 2 years, and he's brought them mid-level.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden you bring in a Di Francesco, who's not the type of workhorse and defensive pragmatic coach that Juric is. and you don't have the players to play a nice style of football. Now you're kind of mix matching
But
your
Pete,
style.
I don't get your you comparing Juric and Di Francesco.
He's saying
First
he
of
rushed
all,
into a job that it didn't suit his skill set.
but
as
how
well.
are you supposed to do? Just supposed to be waiting for somebody to
That's
call
what he's
him?
saying. He's saying
you
wait
can't
for the right opportunity.
But the
for
guy
the right
needs to make
opportunity.
he needs to make money, Marco. So Spalletti can afford to be sitting. The guy Spalletti can afford to
got
be sitting home
bills.
for
They're
an
not
extra 10
making
years, making
scratch.
10 millions a year.
They're not making.
I mean, they
nothing.
make money.
They're
They make
making
money,
hundreds
yeah.
of thousands of dollars.
But Peter-
What I'm getting
Euros.
at is more the project. You have
I
to
hear
get into a
you.
project.
I got you.
Peter, now could I say a devil's advocate? Could I say, what if he wanted to challenge himself? Do you fault him for trying to challenge himself, try to replicate
What,
that
he's
good
just saying that it
football?
was wrong.
You know
All
what I'm
he's saying is
saying?
that it was the wrong
I'm
decision.
saying you could always challenge yourself, but this
Yeah.
is the reality of football. We
Yeah.
see it day in, day out, every year. If you don't do the results count.
So
Your
why is
team can play-
Juric going to Torino? It's not a challenge. Torino was
that's
another
true.
great game.
I agree.
So give me the
I
what's
was
the argument?
surprised
It is
by
a
the move,
challenge.
but because Juric is a proven coach. Juric is unbelievable. What he's been able to do with Verona, and even
With
I
this
didn't want to
Torino
get
side
to
so
it, but
far.
with this Torino side, even Mr. Italiano, these guys in 25 days that they had a team, they have
Changed it,
completely
yeah.
transformed these teams.
Can I
And
just say
there's-
your thing? What happened to it's 4 games in? It's 4
No,
games
no, I agree. It's 4
Easy,
games
4
in,
games.
but it's also in the
That's a good
the
point.
approach to the
Yeah,
games.
yeah.
You can
How
know,
they
you can
look.
tell and you can see how a team plays.
No, I agree. Let's talk
Okay.
about
Yeah,
Roma.
Roma.
Roma is obviously the one that lost the game, and they were coming in. They were 3 for 3. They were perfect with Mourinho. They scored that late winner, and he ran on his 1,000th game. Pellegrini is a top midfielder. There's no midfielder in the top 5 leagues in Europe who have scored more goals than Lorenzo Pellegrini this year. So unbelievable
He has
player.
7 goals and 6 goals in his past 6 games. 7 goals in his past 6 games.
And what a goal.
actually.
Gaetano. It's almost
Is it?
the-
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the grande-
Uh,
grande
yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So, but I mean, listen, it's normal that eventually, we knew it's not going to be perfect for Roma. I think that some things went a little bit against them throughout the match, and it's when you got this highly motivated Verona team.
Are you guys listening to yourself? All of a sudden, no, Mourinho's not going to be perfect or Roma. Last week,
Who's
you guys were
perfect?
Mourinho,
No one's perfect.
No, he said a
I said
perfect
600 times
result.
I heard this Mourinho. Oh, perfect results.
Yeah.
Well, listen, it was a close game. I think Roma, it could have gone the other way, but Verona impressed me. Oh, unbelievable the way they played soccer.
I'm excited to see Tudor too, because we all know he was at Juventus' staff. Now he's and now he left the staff to challenge himself, become a head coach, and so far so good, playing against a Roma team who won every single game that they played. So a
That
lot
always
of.
happens. I want to see
But
after
I'm
a
just
couple
giving him
games.
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt.
I'm
just
not
now,
gonna
you
give
know?
him the
It's
benefit of
big.
the doubt. No, zero.
Against a Roma that won every single game that they played, the
because
4
it's-
games that
it's-
they played,
look
that
at- look
counts
at-
for something.
Look at
teams.
what Cagliari did
Right.
against Lazio too. They got a tie. Mike,
That's not
we've
the same.
been through this for 26 years.
I'm just-
I've seen this day in and day out. These teams, they come in, they do amazing when they first get their coach for a couple games, and then they die out. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. What I'm saying is I'm not giving you
And I'm
any
ju-
credit
yeah.
until
But I'm just
you
giving-
start showing me
I'm giving
that
him
you've
a-
actually done
I'm giving
something.
him a pat on the
If
back
I was,
on the first
If I was
game.
Roma fan, I would not be nervous. You got a great team. You're not going to win every single game. It's unfortunate, and you're in a weird situation.
Also coming off Conference League, you're playing
Yes.
on a
They look
Thursday.
tired.
Those are hard games to play. And then I don't know, were they away or
They were away.
So that's
Yeah.
a big travel.
Yes.
They were away in Eastern Europe. So
Sorry, they were away to Verona.
Oh, they were away to Verona. Sorry. So let me
They were away.
rephrase that.
Sorry. My bad. I messed you up. I messed you up. My
You
bad.
can mess him up, right? Easy,
Anyway,
easy, mess him up.
they played on
funny.
Thursday, so they didn't have enough rest to, maybe get into this game and whatever. But definitely Verona, the enthusiasm with a new coach.
Mhm.
Tudor could work potentially with this Verona team because he's the same type of, I guess, brand of
What did he coach
as Juric.
before last
Well, he
week?
failed at Udinese.
Yeah.
Failed
He
at
was-
Udinese.
he's
He was
assistant at
assistant at
Juventus.
Juventus.
Yeah.
But, they're Paisani, Juric and
Listen,
Tudor.
Marco,
So
what do you
maybe
think about Pirlo coming back into the scene again? Because
He's not in
Pirlo,
the scene.
I know. I said, what do you think about the possibility of Pirlo coming
Well,
back
you didn't
into
say
the scene?
possibility.
I'm thinking that Pirlo and Gattuso are the two coaches that are looking in case somebody gets sacked. But I think that both of them are kind of intelligent in the sense that they want to choose the right project. Like Peter was saying, they're not going to. I don't think they will put themselves in a tough position where they want to accept something good. And I think that will be smart for them. Lazio 2-2 against Cagliari. Again, Lazio looked tired in this match. Some poor mistakes. Lucas Leiva needing to move the ball a little bit quicker probably was on fault for there. And defensive mistakes, again, showing evident for Lazio. Obviously, Sarri was not on the bench because he got sent off. But I would say, again, for them, tranquillo. Like, it's very early. They started on a big high, but the Sarri project is going to take many months.
Pirlo said 6 months, right? And then, but you.
So I would not get too scared. Again, Cagliari, another team that runs at 1,000,000 miles an hour because Semplice is gone. Mazzarri comes in, and everybody's trying to prove themselves to a new coach. Joao Pedro, what a fantastic player that this guy is. It's really understood why top teams wanted this guy. He is so good. Man. He is a leader. He is a leader. When some of these teams, when Cagliari needs him, he is there always. Penalty, headers, outside the box, setting up his teammates. He got the goal and the assist. Yeah. I love Joao Pedro.
I mean, Marco, first of all, that header, the brilliance for him chipping it over, and also Marin, that amazing assist. Everyone thought it was going to be a shot, but he chipped it over the whole defense, and Joao Pedro did an incredible finish.
I guess don't say that, please, because you reminded me the goal that Salah scored on us when they chipped it. They did it to
I'm still having nightmares over there, right? But regardless, Cagliari looking good right now. And I'm interesting to see Mazzarri this season and see how he does, because the past few seasons, I feel like he was unemployed. He had a big gap in terms of him not playing in Serie A. So it's interesting. He is a character in Serie A, being that old school kind of coach. So I like to see him. We know his antics at Napoli and stuff. So
it's an emergency type of coach. You just bring him in when you know that you have nothing else.
At least he knows Serie A, though.
No,
like I don't like Mazzarri, but at least he knows Serie A.
Listen, for a Cagliari team, I don't know what their objective is. It's probably most likely to stay up in Serie A
at this point.
So Mazzarri is a coach that has been able to do it in the past. He's been away from the game since Torino job, but before he got sacked with Torino, he actually had a pretty good string of results, and then he kind of faded away. And there was problems between him and Cairo. So I think for this level of team, he's a good tactician. You know, he's been able to do stuff with Sampdoria. He brought them to Champions League. You know, it was way back, but still, it's on his resume.
He'll give you the points.
Regina, you know, when he started. So
he'll give you the points needed to stay in Serie A, I think.
What we're gonna do also, by the way, when my dad comes here, we're gonna let him give his opinion on these, and we're not gonna interrupt him.
Yeah.
All right, Anto.
You got that right.
All right, we're just gonna let him go.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Let's talk about Napoli, who's the first place. They are perfect.
With who? Who's coaching?
Absolutely perfect record in this. Antonio and Phil were already going back and forth with the videos shared across social media. 4 for 4. The last time that they did this was Sarri's 2017-2018 team. Napoli, that, by the way, and I will repeat this one more time when my dad gets here, that you guys had not even in Europa League, I think.
What are you talking about?
No, you didn't have them in Europa League. Before you changed over there, you didn't have them in Europa League.
We'll talk about it after.
We'll get to that after. But they beat Udinese 4-0, and they're looking very, very good this season.
And Marco, to cut you off really quickly, we talked about it in the beginning a little bit. We've been talking about these beautiful Serie A matches, and of course, you guys are probably wondering, but where do you guys see these beautiful Serie A matches? And Antonio, our Stellina over here, was on the CB. Stellina. A little star, isn't it? over here was giving us a little chant. Anto, where could these beautiful people watch these beautiful Serie A games?
Listen to me. For the first time, I got in trouble with my wife. She comes to my bedroom the other day.
For the first time you got in trouble?
I
don't believe that.
The beautiful of the day, Marco.
Yo, Mike. Yeah. The beautiful Paramount Plus is that you can watch so many different games at the same time. I had one on the phone, one on my computer, and one on the TV. My wife, she says, "What?" I said, "What are you watching?" I said, "If I'm watching the computer, I'm watching that game." I said, "What?" I said, "Here, there's another one on the phone." She said, "Oh my God!"
You're just completely ignoring her. You can't. You have no time.
Listen,
you gotta watch the game.
Serie A first, right?
It's contagious. You want to watch it? You know what I'm gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna build myself a room with round walls. I'm gonna put all the screens around so I can watch it all at the same time.
It's like the VAR room.
Yeah, the VAR room. Exactly. I want to watch 7-8 games at the same time, so I don't want to miss anything. I don't want to miss the action.
And Mark, and Anto, the description is below. If they want to sign up, tell them they get 7 days free if they use our link down below.
For Paramount.
7 day free.
For Paramount Plus.
And what is the link? It's at the bottom of the screen?
It's in the description, yes.
Guys, it's on the description. It's at the bottom of the screen. It's 7 days for free, okay? When you subscribe to Paramount
Plus, exactly. But Anto,
So-
they can watch the games, but don't watch to the point where your wife gets mad. We could
No,
probably tell
listen,
them
my
too.
wife, she already knows she's got. She lost. You know, she
Yeah,
has
but
no more
pretend
hope.
that you're working. Go outside. Put the phone
Yo,
on.
Peter-
I just hit the hammer.
You guys are genius.
Pete, she
She's
knows me
good.
for too long.
Smart working.
She
Smart
knows me for
working.
too long.
She knows all the tricks.
But guys, also if you get Paramount Plus, you'll be able to sometimes see Antonio apparently
Yeah.
live, because if
Hey.
you did not have it, you would not have been able to see.
And you
it.
know what? Gaetano says that if you subscribe for 1 year, you went up saving
save.
$10. Think
right.
about it. Hey, listen,
What
it's
did you
like
buy
a,
with $10?
listen. If you
You
go
should
to
invest, don't buy anything.
If you go to a pizzeria and you buy a slice of pizza, it's $4.99. For
$4.99.
$4.99.
What kind of pizza
Well,
you having?
you eat
Well,
high
you
class
put
pizza.
gold- you put
Mr.
gold on your
Hollywood
pizza?
over
Well,
here.
if
Yes,
you put some sausage on and some
Bella
guy.
Vita. Anto, I only eat plain with cheese.
$5. I mean, for
I go to 99
$4.99.
cents.
Yeah, I gotta
You
get
can
dollar
watch
pizza.
the full
There it
month
is.
of Paramount Plus instead of eating that slice of pizza.
And you lose
that is
weight.
not gonna be.
And you lose weight.
And you hear talking about the devil is just showed up right here. Gaetano is right here.
That's
So,
funny. But guys, description of
The presence of
To
the
check it out.
superstar. Can I?
there.
Hey, but
We didn't think he was gonna show up. We didn't think he was gonna show up anymore. We thought we lost
man.
him.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
Can I take a ride on your?
You look like a
Vespa?
commentator with those bad
You like
boys
my
on,
Vespa?
Gaetano.
Huh?
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
he was the first one that showed up. For the first time, he took notes. He didn't say hello to anybody though. He said he's too good.
I didn't take notes. I just put the
What are those?
You know, at your father's suggestion, we have to redo 1 to 8 of the Serie A thing. So
We'll get to
I
that.
reshuffled the stuff
1 to 8,
for
the whole
myself,
table.
and I don't want to show him because he's gonna copy my stuff and he's gonna put it on his thing.
Yeah, you guys gonna copy each other with Napoli
Yeah.
7th place again? I don't know. They're doing pretty well right now.
That's true. That's true.
Dan, what do you think about this Serie A weekend?
Well, did you talk about the Juventus?
We're waiting for
yeah,
you to
waiting
give
for
your
you.
opinion.
Okay. So it was an entertainment game. I thought that Juventus, for the first time this year, played really well. I watched it again the first half. I mean, they were doing everything the right way. They were putting pressure. They were playing well at midfield. They scored a beautiful goal with Morata. They had a chance with Rabiot to go up to nothing, but Rabiot is too slow.
You want to say something else, bro?
You're a little slow, my friend.
And then in the second half, so the midfield, I thought in the first half, Juventus did a very good job. Kessie, I didn't see him. He didn't do a good job. And in the second half, though, Milan came out. And I was, that's the sign of a good team that took over at midfield. It was they were playing, even though I don't think they took a shot until they didn't take any shots.
Yeah.
Till
Right?
they scored.
Until they scored.
Yeah.
So even though they were the possession of the ball, I think they did pretty well in the second half. As far as Juventus was concerned on the second half, the midfield are just they don't have it. You cannot play with Betancourt and Rabiot. They don't have it. And then when you need somebody to score a goal, who do you put? Do you put Kulusevski, who is 22, he does not have it, and you put Moises Kean, which he looked lost yesterday. So when you need somebody, it's a 1-1 game, and you need now to score a goal, those two guys are not going to do it. As far as Allegri was concerned, I mean, he made the substitution. He made 3 substitutions, and he changed 1 player each substitution. So if he wanted to make another substitution, he couldn't, because he already uses all 3 of them. So he changed 3 players with 3 substitutions. If he wanted to use now 5 players, he couldn't. So he said it, well, I should have put a defender in instead of putting forwards in. But something was not. I don't like.
What'd you make of him taking Dybala out?
Yeah, no, I mean, you don't take Dybala out. How can you take Dybala out? He's the guy that can score. He's the most creative guy he has. He played all over the field. He can take a shot. He can take a free kick.
He made the goal happen.
Yeah, he made he made the pass. When he has the ball, I agree with Giuseppe. He can hold on to the ball. He's not going to lose the ball, and he's going to give a nice pass. So why would you take him? Why would you take him out? I was really surprised about that. But I think he realized that he screwed up on the substitution.
And in terms of Milan, when they scored the goal, what did you think about their pressure and everything after they scored?
So Milan scored the goal, and not only that, but they wanted to win the game. And the last 15 minutes,
And they deserved to win the game.
I mean, I'm not sure if they deserve to win the game.
The first half, you guys didn't
Because
absolutely.
Because Rabiot could have had 2 goals. He
had a big chance. That's right.
He had a big chance in the first
I
half.
don't remember the second.
With his left leg, it went to
When he
the
shoot-
left side.
yeah.
He mishit it.
Yeah,
I
he
remember
cut in into the middle and he hit it in the volley.
With
but-
the left.
Ah, yes,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember.
I mean, he was by himself. He could have stopped the ball, whatever. No, you had the chance with
Kalulu.
at the end.
What about Rebic? Not Kalulu only. Rebic took a shot that just
But
went,
he's saying
went
the
across the
chance
bar.
from Kalulu that
Kalulu.
Chesney saved.
Yeah, I mean
At the end,
that was
that was
unbelievable
crazy.
save. I don't
Crazy
know. I thought
Initially,
the ball.
I thought that the ball went up.
Yeah, I thought the ball went up, but this
But
guy
he saved him, man.
He saved him.
Incredible.
So at the end, I think the score is 1-1 is good. It's better for of course for AC Milan.
No, it's better for you guys
But-
because you guys were supposed to be losing.
But I was impressed.
Wow, you exploded over there. Anto.
But I was
it's like it's doing us a favor.
I was impressed by AC Milan the way they came back in the second half. When in the first half, really Juventus had a very.
Gaetano, I got a question for you. And this is an important question that everybody missed on this. Knowing Allegri that when you're winning 1-0, you're un defensivista, you have to bring the game back home. Why you don't use the elite?
But he said he made a mistake.
Oh, by not using the elite. I
Yeah,
didn't
he
follow
said-
the press conference
he
because I
said
was
it.
coming back.
He said
so.
he screwed up. That's what he said.
I don't understand it.
He said I made
Honestly,
a
I don't
mistake.
understand it.
But why isn't the elite starting to begin with? Now that's
he said,
another
so
point.
he said before the game, he said, "Oh, rotation." He's like, "Oh, he played 3 out of 4 games, so I had to rotate him." I don't like it. I don't like it. For me, I mean, Allegri sometimes I feel like he overdoes things. He's overcomplicating things that should be simple, and I feel just a little bit scared. Like I feel like the approach is terrified. Even what he said about Chiesa after the match scares me.
Yeah.
I mean, saying that Chiesa needs to understand where he is a little bit more and to give more and sacrifice more. He said as well as everybody else. But I don't know. I mean, Chiesa's a fantastic player that I don't know what else they wanted from him. The big question for me, what I noticed over this past week, after beating Lazio, after the Liverpool game, and now after Juventus, for me, Milan proved to me this week that they are going to challenge for the Scudetto and be in the top 4. Because for me, I don't know if I had Milan top 4 last time that we guessed this. I was thinking that Pioli. I thought Pioli was going to do way worse, and I will admit that I've been wrong at this point. Pioli's done a fantastic job at managing them.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to before we give our prediction.
We have
to say that.
We gotta,
Your thoughts on the Italian teams in Champions League. You could pick one game. You could pick all the games. Real Madrid beat Inter 1-0.
Well, I thought that Inter did a pretty good job, and they deserve more on that game. They played well, and they had Real Madrid where they wanted, but at the end, is that lack of focus, a lack of you need to be concentrated until
the last second.
The last second, you got to be
Fino alla fine.
concentrated all the time.
Juve didn't listen to their slogan.
Shut up.
You can't say, I don't know, is Inzaghi, does he keep that intensity until, Conte, the guy freaking, he would scream his head off, and he would make sure that everybody stay focused until the 90 minute, until the end of. Does Inzaghi does that until, or
he sweats a lot, Inzaghi. Does it? I mean, look, if you look at the player on the field,
funny,
you can just pick up anybody on the Inter squad. Those guys don't even know they need to take a shower when they go into the locker room. Inzaghi, meanwhile, he sweats like 20 shirts.
That's hilarious, man.
No, but I mean, I think time will tell. But let's not forget, Conte had this team last year, and arguably, you had Lukaku, Hakimi, 2 extra players that could change the game in a moment's notice, and they didn't get past the group stage. You're versing a Real Madrid who obviously is not the Real Madrid of years past, but is coached by Carlo Ancelotti. Has Courtois, who made some fantastic saves, and you have players that when they came in, Rodrigo, the guy who scored, Vinicius. These are guys that are quick and they're fresh and they're technical. They have good ability. But I agree with you. 90th minute, you do not let a goal in. You whatever, you miss your chances, but that game has to remain 0-0.
And Liverpool, Milan.
Liverpool, Milan. I liked Milan reaction at the end of the first half. But then the midfield didn't show up in the second half. And I don't know if it's because of the two midfielders. I would have liked to see them maybe with three midfielders against Liverpool instead of the 4-2.
You do what, 4-3-3?
Yeah, do a 4-3.
2-1.
Yeah.
So it could be more tactical, right? Pass the ball around a little bit more, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, in that middle field, Liverpool was all over.
Yeah, they were invisible, Milan there.
Yeah, I mean, I would have tried Tonali with
Benacer.
Yeah.
And Kessie, yeah.
But you know what? Let me just say something to you, Gaetano. I agree with you a little bit, but partially, if you look at the circumstances, the way that Liverpool goalie arrived, one time the first goal was a shot that was deflected on Tomori and then went in. The second goal, I tipped my hat off to the guy that did the Cucchiaio over, and then to Salah, boom, he put the ball in. But the third goal, it was just a poor clearance from Benacer that the guy just found the ball just bouncing next to him and the ball.
But Liverpool played a better game. Magnon made some fantastic saves. Like there was a lot of
Again,
there were so many chances from Liverpool. Could have been worse.
The number of chances, they means nothing. AC Milan
it mean something. Without Mignon, it would have been 10 goals.
AC Milan, if AC Milan would have won the game or tied the game, nobody will be saying anything right now. Because AC Milan, let me tell you something. AC Milan, without Ibrahimovic, without some of the players, they demonstrated that the game.
They didn't have Van Dijk and they didn't have Firmino, to be fair.
And someone else.
But Marco,
Mane played the last few minutes.
Just to be fair.
Mane,
so Mane came in again. So their squad is way on the paper superior to AC Milan. And this was the first exit at AC Milan of the Champions League. I wanted to see the next game that we're going to have against Liverpool, if there is the next game, to find out where we're going to be.
There's two, home and away.
So now what I'm saying that's like so let me see it when they come to Milan. I wanted to see whether Giroud or Ibra is going to be playing, whether the structure is going to be changed, like maybe
with the healthy squad, you're saying.
So we will see. Because Liverpool is not that as great as you guys think. So
they're a very good team. They're a very good team. We got to give them respect. Guys, I think we got to do our top 8 and the bottom 3, as you said. I have to go in 5 minutes, but you guys continue. But I have to go.
Okay.
Let's do. Does everyone have their predictions
I
ready?
have mine.
I do.
No, I don't have mine.
You don't have yours?
Oh, Gaetano's the one that told us about it.
I'm working.
I know, but you're the first one to say
Make it
I
up
have
right now.
something in mind.
Mike, make it up. Send it to
you
him.
could be
Send it to
the
him.
last one.
You can be the last one.
You could be the last one to write
Can you
it.
pull up my?
But you have to mute my
Well,
mic.
Yeah,
you're one on the
I gotta
last
switch
one.
You
my
can have to
computer.
mute my prediction.
You
when
want
get
yours from the last time? You
Jesus,
want me to send
frenzy.
it to you? I can send it to you.
I can go first if you want.
Okay, Antonio, you could go first.
Okay, I have again. I'm a little biased, but I still have AC Milan in first place. I have Roma number 2. I have Napoli number 3. Inter 4. Juventus 5. Atalanta 6. Lazio 7. Fiorentina 8.
Wow. Okay, and your bottom 3 stay the same, right?
Yeah. I don't go.
for the
I don't
Say it
change
one more
it.
time, Anto.
Milan first place.
Milan
Roma
first place.
Roma number 2.
Roma second place.
Yeah. Napoli 3.
Napoli 3.
Inter 4.
Inter 4.
4th place. Yeah. Juventus 5th place. Atalanta 6. Lazio 7. Fiorentina 8.
By the way, just to remind you, last time you had Napoli in 7th place.
Well, I changed my mind because I didn't see this.
But also, you know that before, when we made our predictions before the season started, you said none of us are allowed to change.
You can't
Yeah,
but
well,
you changed the most.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
I did. Hey, I would have stuck with my stuff. I would have stuck with my gun. But was your father that? Because Ronaldo out.
Okay, if you guys don't have yours, I'll
go,
go
Mike.
if you guys don't want. Okay, so I have this obviously changes. For some context, our first initial one was before the Mercato ended, and now this was before Ronaldo left also.
Thank you, Mike.
So,
Thank you, Mike.
so my standing is Inter to win their second golden star on their shirt, number 1. Capolista Serie A, right? P. Second place, Milan impressed me, man. I'm putting Milan in second place with that healthy squad. They're looking good. Milan second. Napoli going in third place for me. Napoli looking great. Undefeated right now. Spalletti's doing magic over there. Juventus is going to make it, man. They're making the Champions League. Till the last match day, they're going to win and they're going to make top 4. Fifth place, Mourinho's Roma gets fifth place. A little rocky mid-season I think he's going to have, but overall pretty good for his first start. Atalanta, man, I had them in the top 4, and now I have them in sixth place. They dropped for me. They haven't convinced me, and I feel like the magic faded. Seventh place, I have Lazio. I feel like Sarri still has a lot of things to iron out over there. It's going to take some time for everything to click. So, yeah. 7th for them. And Fiorentina, I had them, I think, in 14th place before, and now I put them at 8th.
There's got to be some sort of deduction for these crazy ones. Like you have Lazio in
good thing
second place.
Good thing we didn't say this
Napoli
before.
in 7th.
But Fiorentina looking good, man.
You changed a lot.
No, I did not.
Vincenzo
I did not.
Italiano's
Yeah, you
changed
did.
some
I did
incredible
not.
stuff. But
Mike,
yeah,
I
that's
think
mine.
you and this guy here, you've been copying me a little bit. But it's okay.
I got it before you, man.
We'll do it before and after.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll put everything together.
Fine.
Okay.
Here's
Morata?
mine. Mine is almost exact to Mike's. I think there's one or two changes. I have Inter winning, of course. Milan in second because they showed me a lot. I think it's going to be very tight. I have Juve in third, which is different than you. I think that they'll catch up towards the end of the season, but I think that there will be a big gap between first and third. I have Napoli in fourth place, which Napoli, by the way, I will say now, I always had Napoli in Champions League. Many of you guys did not have Napoli in Champions League. You did not believe.
I had Napoli.
Mike and I had Napoli in Champions League.
Go,
the rest
boys!
of you guys, whatever. You changed now. Roma in fifth, which I think I had them somewhere similar. Atalanta in sixth. That was my big one that I dropped. Atalanta I had very high up. That was the big mistake that I made. Lazio in seventh and Fiorentina in eighth, which I had Fiorentina in eighth. By the way, I want that on record that I have Fiorentina in eighth.
Okay.
And then Spezia, Salernitana, Venezia at the bottom. It's fine.
They kept the same thing,
stuff.
relegation?
I think so.
Okay.
I didn't even
That's
look.
fair. Now, Peter or Gaetano?
Which one do you
anyone
guys
have
wanna
it
go?
ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
It's like
First
you're
place
finishing
team?
the test before the bell runs out.
What are you doing?
Relax.
What do you have in first?
So first, I'm going to change it. I'm going to put Inter winning the Scudetto.
Well, you had it before.
You had Juventus.
I had
Juve.
Juventus.
With
But
Ronaldo.
that was
They had
with
Ronaldo.
Yeah. No Ronaldo.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And then this start, not good. I was going to put one team, but I'm going to put another team. Second, I'm going to say Napoli. Third, Milan. Fourth, Roma. And I'm
But you
going to
put
put
Milan over here.
Juventus. Well, look at the arrows.
Oh, you switched.
Where do you have Juventus?
Juventus fifth.
Because
And
you put it on.
I was just looking. The last time Juventus scored with two. Last time that Juve had 2 points in 4 games
They finished
was back
12th.
in 1957.
61, yeah.
Or 61. There you go.
So you believe in
Before
stats, I
Allegri was
guess,
even
right?
born.
You believe in stats?
No, I don't believe in stats because I don't have them 12th place.
Oh,
But
oh.
I have them outside of Champions League. I think 8 points right now is a big gap, and
Who's
I
sixth?
think they're gonna
Wow,
fall.
Petey.
6 Atalanta, 7th Lazio. I also had Fiorentina 8th. I'm gonna keep them 8th. I expected Torino to be lower, but I'm gonna put them 9th.
No, we're not doing anything below 8. We're not doing anything below 8.
Wow, Anto,
You can't
relax.
beat her.
That
If you have it, if you have it.
exploded.
I was gonna say Sassuolo
just
impressed
got
me 10th, 11th place Sampdoria, 12th place Udinese, Bologna, Genoa,
Casa
Cagliari,
Massima.
then Verona, Spezia, and I still keep my last
Same
three.
thing.
So what was the last
Gaetano
three?
speaking.
Empoli, Salernitana, Venezia. All the
yeah.
teams that came up, I think they're gonna go back down.
Okay. Fair enough. By the way, I will say Peter did have Napoli in the top 4 before. I just wanted on note.
Okay,
The two
that's
that didn't.
Gaetanino, are you ready for your predictions?
Dad, you got yours?
Hey, this is the last that you cannot change anymore. Come up with some other BS that you can change again.
He's going to say
Let
Let
midway
me ask
change,
you
right?
something. Why did you change yours?
No, because you changed it.
Wait,
No,
what
what are you
is-
waiting for the
oh,
winter
what?
for the winter market to
Right.
close down and then we're
Wow,
gonna change it again?
Gaetano!
Yeah,
You're going to let
that's
him
it.
speak to you like that?
That's it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But at the same point, if you didn't want anyone to change,
Yeah, you should
would
never
just
change.
not
Yeah,
change
but
yours.
I'm
You should put your foot
change
down.
it.
Just
I mean,
that
You're not forced to do
confident.
anything.
Anyway,
You're not forced.
Because you said Milan and Inter, I'm going to say Inter and Milan.
That's all right.
Just because you think that I am copying you. So just, even if I had Milan Inter, now I'm changing.
Only on that I can make you change it. You can change to Milan
Inter
again.
Milan.
Oh, Inter Milan.
Anyway, the Scudetto is going to stay in Milano. That I'm pretty sure about that. Okay. So number 3, I'm going to put Napoli, which I had Napoli.
Well.
I didn't have Napoli in Champions League, but I think Napoli is going to do well. Number 4.
He's your copy.
It's a carbon copy. Gaetano's a carbon copy right
the
here.
rest of them I have no idea.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Watch. Watch is coming.
I was going to put Roma number 4. It's between Roma and Juventus. I'm really, I'm not sure about that. I'm very disappointed in Roma the way the way they played. Okay, so Inter, Milan, Napoli, Roma, Juventus, Lazio, Atalanta, Fiorentina.
All right. So
That's
pretty much
official.
almost
So
the
you're having
same.
Juventus out of Champions League.
Wow, Atalanta in 7th. You put them that low, huh?
So you have Juventus.
Atalanta in 7th.
You have Juventus in 5th place to confirm.
I have Juventus
He's not sold on
in.
He wants to
5th
change
place.
it. I see it. So everyone went from
That's
Juventus winning, not
big.
you. Yes, Juventus in 5th. That's hilarious.
Oh, you got Inter.
Yeah,
in
Marco, say
4th
your point
place.
because that's a big
Yeah,
point.
that's,
that you're
that's
saying.
Everyone went. Peter, you, me, and Mike all had Juventus winning.
With asterisks.
We had
Yeah,
Juventus
with
winning
asterisk,
at the
yeah.
start of
And
the
one
season.
player leaving
One player leaves.
changed it all.
And obviously the results
Well,
go in
I
there.
still-
And some of us have them out of Champions League.
I still
Crazy.
think that they're going to make Champions
No,
League.
you don't.
Juventus.
Oh, too late
gonna
now.
change it again.
Don't
He's
change.
changing it again.
He's done.
You can't.
He's
He's
done.
gonna change
can't.
it.
You can't change. You can't.
You can't.
Don't change.
I
You
still
can't.
could change it.
No, you
Oh,
can't.
no,
change it.
Gaetano, you
So
said
change
it.
it. I'm
Okay.
saying-
Stop the
Okay.
count. Stop the count.
All right.
Stop. Too
That's
much.
great.
Guys, I
That's
gotta go.
great.
You guys continue.
Yeah.
Fiorentina. There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah. I was gonna go through that match. But before we even talking about Fiorentina, we briefly talked about the Napoli game. Then Gaetano walked in, so we kind of forgot about the trends. I'm not sure if you caught any of it, but Napoli won 4-0. They looked incredible against Udinese, who I thought in the beginning of the season who sold Musso and who sold De Paul were gonna be shambolic. Bogotti is levels above, higher than I was thinking. He was incredible. But Napoli made them look like a relegation side. They absolutely tear them apart. They look great.
On their home.
Yeah, and on their home. And there was a lot of pressure on Napoli.
See you guys.
See you, Marco. There was a lot of pressure on Napoli and Napoli's mentality saying, oh, could they do it? They can be first if they win. Because a lot of people were questioning their mentality last season because they couldn't win the game to put them in Champions League. But Spalletti, man, I feel like there's something in the air. And Spalletti really gave Napoli this mentality, this winning mentality that they can go out and really, really do something, compete for the Scudetto, I think, to the last final match days. But super impressed with Napoli. That's why I have them high up. I have them in 3rd place, probably fighting for 2nd place.
Who
But
scored for Napoli?
Osimhen scored. Osimhen took Insignia's
shot.
goal. Chucky Lozano scored.
Koulibaly.
Koulibaly scored. Rahmani scored. It was a goal fest. They looked
But-
so comfortable out there.
Goalkeeper made
But-
few mistakes.
Whatever.
Few-
Overall, they look great.
Napoli was a better team.
What did you think of the match? You saw it?
Yeah, I saw part of the game. I think Napoli, they have a lot of depth for their team.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about a team that's been able to score goals, but more importantly, even defensively.
Mhm.
Rahmani came in, and okay, it was versus Udinese, but he did a solid job with Koulibaly. Koulibaly, we all know, and then when he can take a shot off a volley, off a corner kick, and you
Mhm.
have that presence
Koulibaly,
in set
incredible
pieces, it's amazing. You're talking about a team that has Mertens on the bench, or he's injured still. I don't know what the case is.
Lozano on the bench.
Lozano on the bench, Zielinski on the bench. There's a lot of
Mhm.
quality now that can come
Absolutely.
into this
quality.
game.
And they came
that
in.
can
They all
change-
came
that
in
can
on the
change the
second
game.
half when the game was already away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we saw it even versus Leicester, going back to the Europa League, where they were down 2-0 and they made some changes and were able to change the game. So this is a Napoli team that's very dynamic. I think Spalletti is a good pragmatic coach. He has yet to, touch the Scudetto level, but he's a coach that always gets his team into Champions League.
For sure.
That always has good string of results, and it can balance. And we say it all the time: is an equalizing effect. But when you have quality, even in the midfield, Fabian Ruiz, unbelievable shot. I mean, from
Off the crossbar.
like
Should've
they had
went
a
in.
lot of
Oh, yeah.
opportunities, and I think this team, as long as they keep consistent, they have a good mix of quality, and then also some like Anguissa
And
Again,
we saw
today
that guy-
he's
was
the,
a great-
listen,
He wasn't as
Flawless,
good
man.
in the
Flawless.
Leicester game,
Yeah.
but this game was unbelievable.
So good.
it's a lot of the stuff that nobody can really get to appreciate is what the movement of this guy is all over the place. It's always involved.
The
into
stuff that stats don't write. It's the stuff, it's the
he
low
does
key stuff that you don't see.
the dirty work
Exactly.
that nobody gets to appreciate because you don't get to see it. But this guy here, he's the kid that Napoli is stepping up, and he's able to afford to have Zielinski on the bench, Lozano on the bench, and and Mertens
And
too.
Spalletti
So,
does bring that calmness to, I think, something that Napoli's been needing lately, because there's been a lot of stress with the fans in terms of competing with the Scudetto. And I think they made the best possible coach they could bring in. They did, and they brought Luciano Spalletti. Moving on, we'll talk
Fiorentina.
about one final game, and then we can go through the other ones really quickly. Genoa versus Fiorentina. Fiorentina won 2-1. Fiorentina is flying high right here. Vincenzo Italiano, I really think he's killing it. There was a lot of question marks. He did a remarkable job keeping Spezia with the lowest wage bill in Serie A, keeping them in Serie A, and made that leap to a team that could really compete on a European level in terms of fighting for 6th place, fighting for 7th place for Europa or Conference League position. And Vlahovic didn't score this game, but Samponara scored an incredible. Peter's a lookalike scored an incredible goal, and Bonaventura, ex-Milan star,
I don't know about that.
ex-Milan player Bonaventura also scored the goal to seal them the deal. Criscito got a penalty at the end, but Fiorentina are looking good. Are you guys surprised at all by Fiorentina, or are you happy, in terms of Vincenzo Italiano, because there was a lot of question marks?
The leap that Vincenzo Italiano made from Spezia to Firenze, it was not it was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
First of all, Fiorentina, according to me, just my personal opinion, has some of the best midfielders.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
in the league,
quality over quality,
sure.
and let's not forget that what's his name? That he was there last year. I don't know if he's still part of the squad.
Amrabat?
I don't know. He's still part of Fiorentina.
Still is,
Okay,
but he's on
I'm
the
telling
bench.
you.
Yeah,
I am telling you, Fiorentina on the paper has got some of the top
talents.
10 players. I mean, their midfield is second to no one. Okay.
I mean, they're very good.
Let me tell you something.
good
Their
midfield. I don't know if they're
experience,
second to no
excellent
one.
stuff. Plus, they
They're
have,
good, they're very good.
the offensively, Vlahovic makes a huge difference. And the fact that you can rely on a very group. Listen, midfield wins the game. Many times you saw defense wins the game.
Yeah, you're right.
If midfield does their job, defense works a lot less. They step up their game. I think the midfield is the key for Fiorentina to go far this year.
100%. Peter, what do you think about
Listen, I have to give
Italiano
a
and the
lot of
squad?
credit to Italiano because, and even management to a certain extent, because when the Gattuso signing happened, we were all happy about it. Then the whole debacle, and we said, "Oh my God, this is gonna start, and it's gonna look messy." Let's put it that way. You're gonna have a new coach. We don't know what to expect. Blah blah blah. All these question marks, and Italiano silently and with limited time.
3 weeks.
Okay, 3 weeks, but
With
overall
preseason.
with preseason,
Yeah.
but it was a shortened preseason.
For sure.
He's been able to really have a strong hold on this team, and you see his work that has been done, and this team is following him. He's figured out this, the system that he wants to play, the 4-3-3. He has the players that can play. He's been putting Bonaventura as another mezzala, Castrovilli, who we expect to do a lot more than he's done so far. But I have a good feeling with him, and he's kept Pulgar in that 6 role. So we already noticed last year, Pulgar and Amrabat, unfortunately, they don't gel.
play
They don't
together.
play. They need the ball in their feet. They need to be able to dictate the tempo. And already Italiano has figured out that problem. I think the introduction of Nico Gonzalez, who's a fantastic player, he's quick. He's a modern game player. That adds quality to this team. And Vlahovic, we know, even if he doesn't score, he has such an influence in this game because he's big, he's strong, he can hold up the ball.
Yeah.
He can.
No, plus he
always
attracted the
attract
extra
attention.
player on you, and
attract
then you
attention,
free up
and you have
somebody
guys
else.
in
That's
space.
it.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of things that I'm impressed with this Fiorentina team, and Fiorentina have a good test versus Inter now, the midweek game.
Hey, Joe,
So
what you
gonna
don't
be-
beat Fiorentina, please.
It's gonna be.
I mean,
interesting
what
to
you don't
see.
beat Inter, I wish you can beat them, so we can just laugh a little bit.
And Peter, quick question for you. I know this is hard to say. This is just like on the top of your mind. But do you think Fiorentina would have been better off with Gattuso, even though we didn't see him play, or now Italiano, who's having a good start? I know, like, you can't really put a lot of facts into this, but just if you would have to go out on a whim and say something.
Listen, I
they
think.
can have a similar style, right?
Yeah.
Pete?
Well, I mean, not so much the similar style because the way that the
4-3-3
team
pretty
plays is a
much,
little
yeah.
bit different. But I think Gattuso disciplinarian, he's going to command respect. So I think he would have been able to fix the problems
Okay.
of years prior.
That's fair.
then I don't know how they would have responded. But I think he would have done a good job as well.
Gaetano, anything on that? Or
Yeah, I think that Italiano was able to put this team together. I mean, they always had good players. Castrovilli was there, Vlahovic was there.
We're just finding the system,
Pezzella
right?
was there, the goalie was there.
Pezzella left, though. Pezzella left.
Yeah, but I'm saying...
prior.
Yeah, prior. I mean, he was to put the team together and to make them play as a team. And with Iachini coming, going, and then they had a problem, Frandelli. So there was a lot of issues there. I think now that the players, they seem like, hey, we have somebody, we have a coach, we're going to listen to him. He puts the right team on the field. He gets everybody involved. And you can see that the team is really playing well.
Oh, yeah.
And he's modern. You know, he plays a modern game. He has to pressure. And the Gonzalez looks like he and if Castrovilli keeps improving in that midfield, I know he got hurt. They probably out for the next game.
He is, yeah.
But if he keeps to improving, they seem like they found the right chemistry for this team. I mean, the good players were always there.
I agree, Gaetano, 100%. I think they really found that identity that they've been lacking the past few years, and I think they really got to give everything to Italiano, and I think they can really build something special. They can have a really exciting season.
And just going off what Gaetano said, I think this is the first time that the Fiorentina management picked their coach. If you think about it, in the past with Montella, when Rocco first bought the team, it was like, okay, we want to keep things, we don't want to change too much. And then right after that, they sacked him. They had Iachini that was there, and then I guess in good faith, or he felt bad, he ended up keeping him. Maybe that was, and it was also a rough decision because it was COVID time, so you didn't have the time to prepare a team. And then Prandelli was just another trying to fix her upper. And then this is the first time that you say, okay, this is the time for us to select a coach. The Gattuso hiccup happened, but they chose the right guy.
Peter, well said. Let me go through quickly the matches. If anyone has say anything, just jump in really quickly. Torino beat Sassuolo 1-0, but these two teams look completely different from last season. Sassuolo look like a shadow of themselves, and Torino, man, they look like Peter was talking about it a little bit before. They look rejuvenated completely. Juric is doing an incredible job. That 1-0 is a lie, because they probably should have won 3 or even 4-0. They played incredible football, and Sassuolo were lucky to be in there for that long.
I think Sassuolo didn't play a good game, but don't forget, Roma had a very hard time beating Sassuolo for the last minute. They play well.
They play well against the Roma.
So that shows that Torino, I think Juric is another coach that he deserves that step up. Hopefully soon. Yeah,
well said. And we know Atalanta were away in Salerno, beating Salernitana 1-0, making it very difficult. Salernitana were really, really on their backs, and Zapata scored, I believe, in the 75th minute. They weren't going away, but now Salernitana, 4 games in, 4 losses, 0 points, sitting dead last on the table. So they're going to probably be looking to sack their coach very soon if they don't get any positive results soon, so they can have a good chance to stay in Serie A. Next game, Sampdoria beat Empoli 3-0. Ciccio Caputo scored a brace. Him and Quagliarella, they might be older, but I call it the experienced duo up front. They're making things happen over there at Genoa, and it's so fun to watch overall. And the last game that we haven't talked about is Spezia versus Venezia. Spezia won 2-1. Burabia scored a 94th minute goal from outside the box. Incredible shot. This ball was dancing in the air. It sucks because Venezia equalized, and just on a counterattack, Spezia managed to get the 3 points away from home. So, guys, did I miss anything else? Anything I want to jump in real quick before we end this podcast? Very long podcast.
A lot of goals. What surprises me a lot is just the fact that Sassuolo is not scoring as many goals as Atalanta. Atalanta used to score 4 or 5 goals every game, and now all of a sudden something's it's not the oil needs to be greased up a little bit. The system needs something to get it fluid again, because I'm not sure if there's some problem within the Società, but Gasperini has been known to be this guru, and somehow maybe some of the players they're not be on their top shape, and they're not performing. And I haven't watched much of the highlights of the game, but I don't know if Muriel's been playing.
Muriel's been injured. Zapata just came back from injury, so they are dealing with some problems.
They have some
Atalanta's also known to get hot.
They're gonna get hot soon. So.
Exactly. P, what you think? Anything to talk about from what I mentioned, or
I think pretty much.
I think Atalanta is going to struggle this year for some reason. It's a very exciting Serie A. 6-1 tennis score from Inter.
Bologna.
A lot of goals have been scored. The Verona game 3-2. I thought that Roma was going to win that game, and then Verona came through. So even if you're watching a team like Sampdoria, even if you're watching Sassuolo against Roma was a great game, even if you're watching Verona, all of a sudden, they came through. I thought Verona had no chance. They came through, and they played very well. So it's not just the Juventus-Milan game, but you can get some entertaining soccer even if you watch a Sassuolo, if you watch a Sampdoria. Napoli is exciting. It's a lot, and they're scoring a lot of goals, which that's what fans
I mean, the quote-unquote smaller teams, but they're actually much more excited than you'd say the average Serie A or football fan would say. There's so much more excitement that you think surprises.
Mike, nothing's a given anymore. Before you said, Juventus, Sassuolo, Juventus.
You said it.
Right now, nothing is a given. Now you're gonna have to just fight to win.
And I would even, say like the top 8. Like those are all really tough games. Those
interchangeable positions too.
I think we're, we obviously gave our top 4, top 8, but I can see a lot of those teams
top 7. I think anybody can.
It can switch the spots. 100%.
They could win. Anybody can be on the top.
100%. But guys, thanks for joining in. We all know there's midweek Serie A games starting tomorrow, so we can't even take a quick break at all.
Mike, go through the games.
Okay, I'll go through I'll go through the games really quickly, but I also wanted to say Wednesday the 22nd we are having our Calcio merch drop. You guys been asking it for a while because we haven't had it in a few months. Sorry, we've been busy, but this drop is supposed to sell out really fast. There's some great designs. We heard some great feedback, and we are excited. Make sure to sign up for our exclusive mailing list down below in the description. It's free to check it out. And Anto, you asked for the games coming up.
Go ahead.
So starting from tomorrow, Bologna versus Genoa, Atalanta, Sassuolo, Fiorentina versus Inter, I think is the game to game to not miss. Yeah, tomorrow. Okay. Then Wednesday we got Salernitana, Hellas Verona, Spezia versus Juventus, Cagliari versus Empoli, Milan versus Venezia. Anto has a sweet spot for Venezia because he studied over there. Sampdoria versus Napoli, Torino versus Lazio, and Roma versus Udinese. So, guys, a great round of Serie A.
A lot of great stuff.
You can't slack on this round either, guys.
Inter game is what, 3 o'clock tomorrow, 2:45?
Inter game is, 2:45. Okay. But, guys, don't miss out. We'll see you guys in the next podcast. We'll have the watch along soon. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time. Ciao, guys.
Ciao.